Man, stand tall and hear me out. How many times have you felt your fate crushing you? Those dark days when you look at what you want. Strength, leadership, a legacy, and it feels like a distant dream. Something life denies with a cruel laugh. Theodore Roosevelt, a man who faced bullets, jungles, and tragedies, would grab you by the shoulders and say, "Fate isn't waited for, it's forged with fire." This ain't for weaklings who sit and whimper. It's for men who seize what's theirs with bare hands. If this lights your soul, smash that like button now and let's start forging what belongs to you. Roosevelt didn't come into this world with it all. He was a scrawny kid, asthmatic, a weakling who could have faded into nothing. But he didn't wait to be saved. His father hit him with the truth. You've got to make yourself. And he did. He went to the woods, hunted bears with his heart pounding like a drum, boxed till blood painted his face, swam icy rivers that cut like blades. Why? Because he knew limits aren't forever. They're walls you can tear down. Every man's got them. Exhaustion that bends you, doubt whispering you can't, time choking your throat. But Roosevelt didn't take it. On February 14th, 1884, he lost his wife and mother in one brutal blow. What did he do? He didn't drown in tears or hide in a bottle. He bolted to Dakota, to the wild lands, and became a cowboy. He herded cattle under a sun that burns your soul, slept in cold that breaks your bones, hunted buffalo while pain tore him apart like a starving wolf. That's what splits you from your fate, man. Not talent, not luck, but your will to break what holds you. Roosevelt said, "Do what you can where you are with what you have. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait to feel ready." Hear this now, man. In 1898, at San Juan Hill, he charged into bullets with the Rough Riders. Not because he was immortal, but because he knew a man doesn't stand still while his fate slips away. You've got your bullets, a job that drowns you, debts that chain you, a life that weighs like lead. You're gonna stay still or break them. Today, pick one limit that's killing you and smash it. Get up at 5 even if your body screams. Run till sweat burns. Say no to that excuse holding you hostage. Every time you break a limit, you forge a piece of your fate. Roosevelt didn't become a legend by chance. He did it by facing what stopped him and crushing it with his hands. In Africa, hunting lions, he didn't flinch. He faced a beast and won. You can too. There's no fate for quitters, only for fighters. Break your limits now. Because if you don't, everything you want vanishes in the wind. Now, hold on tight, because breaking limits is just a start. To forge your fate, you need something that burns like red-hot iron. Discipline. Theodore Roosevelt wasn't a dreamer waiting for miracles. He was a man who knew fates built with sweat and will. He said, with self-discipline, almost anything's possible. Picture this. You're beat, the days kick you flat, you want to quit and let it all slip away. Roosevelt didn't. In 1913, lost in the Amazon, legs slashed open, malaria torching his blood, 25 pounds of pure meat gone. He rode an impossible river with fever making him see shadows. Why? Because stopping was losing it all, and he wasn't a loser. I'm not telling you to slog through jungles or fight death, but to fight what holds you back inside. Discipline's a hammer that shapes your fate, man. Look how Roosevelt lived it. In Dakota, he herded cattle through storms that split rocks, hunted wolves with frozen hands, slept on dirt while wind sliced his face. It wasn't a game, it was his way of forging himself. You've got your storms, exhaustion that crushes you, the pull to rot in bed, distractions stealing your time. What do? Collapse like a weakling? Scroll like a lost kid? Roosevelt didn't bargain with himself. He said, do what you must, and then you'll have the power to do what you want. Burn this into your chest. Discipline ain't a gift from the sky. It's a choice you make with gritted teeth. When he came back from Dakota, he wasn't just tougher, he'd tamed his mind. He rose at dawn even if his body felt like stone, read books while others snored, trained like war was coming at sunrise. And you? How many times you said tomorrow, and you're still in the same hole? Pay attention now, man. Discipline doesn't wait. Grab it today or lose everything you could be. You don't have to be perfect from day one. Roosevelt started small. One day he walked despite the pain. The next he refused to whine though everything crashed. Then he worked till the sun sank. He forged his fate blow by blow with fire and patience. Here's the challenge, and I want your answer. What's stealing your discipline? Comment below right now, because facing it is the second secret to not losing it all. Is it sleep? Laziness? That beer calling you? Bullshit if you say no time. Roosevelt ran a country, raised 6 kids, wrote 30 books, and still boxed in the White House like a young bull. How? He didn't surrender to himself. If he said he'd do it, he did it. Body screaming, mind begging didn't matter. That's discipline. Saying yes to what makes you a man and no to what makes you weak. Today, pick one thing that needs fire in your life. Maybe your body. Hit the gym though it's pouring hell. Do 20 push-ups though you shake. Maybe your mind. Read 10 pages instead of watching trash. Maybe your day. Wake at 5 and plan like you're conquering a kingdom. In Cuba, leading the Rough Riders, he didn't stop amid enemy fire. He advanced because his fate demanded it. You got that fire, man. Discipline takes the broken pieces of your limits and turns them into a sharpened blade. It's not pretty, it's not easy, but it's yours. Forge your fate with it, or watch it all fade into nothing. Let's crank it up, man, because here's the heart of it. Purpose. You broke limits and forged discipline. But without purpose, it all falls apart. Roosevelt wasn't a madman running blind. Every step had a fire guiding him, a fate he wrote with his hands. He said, "The best prize life offers is a chance to work hard at something worth it. It's not enough to sweat, not enough to fight if you don't know what the hell you're doing it for." Roosevelt hunted lions in Africa, led armies in Cuba, wrote books that still echo, not out of boredom, but because he lived for something big. Being a vigorous man, useful, unbreakable. And you? What drags you out of bed? What makes the pain worth it? Without that, limits grow back, discipline cracks, and your fate slips away like smoke. Look how Roosevelt did it. At San Juan Hill, he charged into bullets, not for thrills, but because he believed in his duty. He lost his son Quentin in the war, and though the pain sliced him like a blade, he kept going because his purpose outshone him. He said, "Far and away, the best man is the one who dares great things, who doesn't fear the effort." Hear this, man. That's what I'm yelling. Find your great thing. You don't need to hunt beasts or rule nations. It could be the dad your kids look up to with pride, building something to pull you from the mud, refusing to let life flatten you. Roosevelt didn't wait to be told what to do. He sniffed it out and took it. Young, he shed his frail body and decided his life would roar. He hit Harvard, fought in politics like a raging bull, raised a family with iron hands, all with a gleam that screamed, "This is why I live." You've got that gleam, even if it's buried under years of hits. Wake up now, man. Ask yourself, what would you do if you weren't scared to fall? If money didn't choke you? If time didn't hunt you? That's your compass. Grab a paper. Write one thing that burns your chest. Maybe it's leaving an eternal name, breaking your family's chains, roaring, "I'm enough." Roosevelt lived like every day was a war he had to win. He walked tall, spoke with a voice that shook the earth, acted like the world rested on him. You can do that. Doesn't matter if you're at the bottom, betrayed, everything gone to hell. Get up tomorrow and say, "Today I forged something mine." Do it for you, for who you love, for the man you're meant to be. In the White House, he worked 14 hours, still boxed, read, played with his kids like life was a trophy. Why? His purpose wasn't crawling. It was shining. When he took the presidency at 42, he didn't flinch. He knew what he wanted: a strong nation, a strong life. You got to know it too. Without purpose, the fate you forge fades to nothing. But with that fire, everything shifts. Every step, every drop of sweat, every no you spit out brings you to something worth your blood. Roosevelt lost elections, faced criticism that had sink a weakling, but never stopped because his life meant something. Today, define yours. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today, sit, breathe deep, growl. What they say about me when I'm gone? Then act like you're that man. Walk steady, speak with authority, work like the devil's on your heels. Your fate ain't a handout. It's a blade you forge with purpose. Man, this is the moment, but don't slack. It's not an end. It's a start with blood on your hands. Roosevelt yells from history: forge your fate or lose it all. You know how. First, break the limits. Roosevelt didn't quit when he was weak, didn't break when death hit, didn't shake when bullets flew. He charged what held him, and you can too. Every time something stops you, remember, you're the boss. Take a step today, one that hurts. Rise at 5. Face what crushes you. Start what burns inside. Don't wait. Do it, and strength follows. Second, forge with discipline. Roosevelt didn't conquer the impossible by luck. He did it with sweat, with will that broke rocks. In the Amazon, he rode with death beside him. In Africa, he hunted with the sun scorching his skin. You got that fire. Wake at 5. Train though it rains. Plan like a king. Discipline's a hammer shaping your fate. And third, guide with purpose. Roosevelt didn't live for nothing. He knew why he breathed. He found his fire and vigor in never yielding. What's yours? Write your purpose. Shout it. Live it. Walk tall. Work like a beast. Make every day count. Roosevelt didn't wait. He forged it. When he took the presidency, he didn't blink. When he lost his son, he didn't fall. When life hit, he hit harder. That a man. Courage, discipline, purpose roaring inside. Your fate's a war you fight daily. Roosevelt said, credit belongs to the man who dares, who doesn't quit. That's you, not the waiter, but the forger. Start now. Break a limit. Make a routine holy. Live for something big. Vigorous life is your battlefield to be the man Roosevelt would respect. Every video hands you a weapon so your fate doesn't slip away. Forge with every blow, every no to weakness, every yes to what makes you eternal. Today, decide, forge or lose. Subscribe now to Vigorous Life, because here we forge men who never break. Do it or lose it all.